The auditorium buzzed with low whispers and the faint hum of camera equipment. The seats were filled to capacity, hundreds of faces illuminated by the soft glow of stage lights. Judges sat behind their long, polished table, sipping water, shuffling papers, waiting for the next contestant. It was just another afternoon in the national talent competition, the kind where dreams are made or shattered in a few seconds. Backstage, a small girl sat on a stool, her legs swinging nervously. Her name was Amelia Carter, 10 years old, dressed in a simple white dress her mother had stitched for her the night before. Her golden hair was tied into a neat braid, but a few strands escaped and brushed her cheeks as she took deep breaths. Her mother, Martha, knelt beside her, holding her tiny hands. "You'll do great, sweetheart," she whispered. Amelia nodded, though her voice trembled when she spoke. "What if they laugh, Mom? I'm just a kid. They're expecting professionals." Martha smiled softly. "Let them expect whatever they want. You just give them your truth." From the other side of the curtain, the host called her name. "Next up, contestant number 21, Amelia Carter." The audience clapped politely, but no one really looked excited. A few whispered things like, "She's so small. What's a 10-year-old doing here? Maybe she's one of those cute acts, not serious." Amelia walked out, the stage lights flooding her face. Her small shoes clicked softly on the wooden floor. The mic stood taller than her, and she had to tiptoe to reach it. The judges smiled politely, the kind of smile people give when they're not expecting much. "Hello, Amelia," said the middle judge, Mr. Daniels, a tall man with silver hair and a reputation for being brutally honest. "What will you be singing today?" Amelia cleared her throat. "I'll be singing Shallow by Lady Gaga." One of the judges raised an eyebrow. "That's a big song for such a little girl," said Ms. Riley, the pop star judge. "Are you sure you're ready for that?" Amelia nodded. Her heart was pounding so hard she could hear it in her ears. The pianist behind her gave a soft nod. The first few notes began, slow, haunting, familiar. The moment Amelia opened her mouth, the world seemed to stop. Her voice wasn't what anyone expected, not thin or shaky, not childlike at all. It was rich, powerful, and filled with emotion far beyond her years. The first line came out clear and resonant, and the audience collectively drew in a breath. Even the judges leaned forward, eyes widening. She sang as though she'd lived every word, the pain, the longing, the hope. The small girl who everyone doubted moments ago now stood as a powerhouse of sound and soul. When she hit the high notes, her voice soared effortlessly, filling the entire hall. Cameras zoomed in on the judges' faces, their eyes wide, some even glistening. The murmurs turned into complete silence, except for Amelia's voice carrying through the air. Backstage, Martha clutched her hands to her chest, tears welling in her eyes. She'd heard her daughter sing in their tiny living room 1,000 times, but this was something different. This was her child becoming something she was always meant to be. As Amelia reached the final note, she closed her eyes and held it, long, pure, and breathtaking. When she finished, the silence hung for half a second. Then the entire audience rose to their feet, erupting in applause. Judges stood too. Ms. Riley wiped her eyes and whispered, "Unbelievable." Mr. Daniels, the critic everyone feared, smiled genuinely. "Amelia Carter," he said slowly, "I think we just witnessed the birth of a star." Amelia's eyes shimmered with tears as she looked out at the crowd cheering for her. She whispered, under her breath, "Thank you, Mom." And for the first time that night, she smiled, a real, radiant smile that reached her eyes. The show producers couldn't get enough of her. Within hours, her performance clip was uploaded online. The title read, "No one expected this voice from a 10-year-old. Fearful face." By morning, the video had over 5 million views. Comments flooded in from all over the world. Greater than, "I got chills. She sounds like Lady Gaga reborn. How can someone so young sing with so much emotion?" But what the world didn't know was why Amelia sang like that, why her voice carried so much pain and beauty at once. 3 years earlier, Amelia's father, a music teacher, had passed away suddenly from an illness. Before he went, he had promised to teach her the song, Shallow, saying, "This one is about diving deep, about not being afraid to feel everything." But he never got the chance. After his passing, Amelia stopped singing for almost a year. The piano in their small living room gathered dust. Every time she walked by it, she felt a lump in her throat. One evening, her mother found her sitting by the window, tears running down her cheeks, whispering the lyrics under her breath. Martha didn't interrupt. She simply sat beside her and said, "He'd want to hear you sing again, you know." That night, Amelia touched the piano keys for the first time since her father's death. Her fingers trembled as she played, and her voice cracked at first, but slowly, something inside her opened. Music became her way of keeping her father close. Every note she sang was a conversation with him. Every performance was a promise that his love for music lived on through her. By the time she reached the competition, she wasn't just singing a song. She was telling a story, her story. After the show aired, Amelia was invited to perform on talk shows, news interviews, and charity events. She didn't fully understand fame, but she understood gratitude. One interview host asked, "Amelia, how did it feel when everyone stood up for you?" She smiled shyly. "It felt like, my dad was standing too." The audience gasped softly. Even the host had to blink back tears. As months passed, Amelia continued performing, not for trophies or fame, but to inspire others who'd lost something precious. She began visiting children's hospitals, singing to kids battling illness, sitting beside them, holding their hands. One day, a little boy in a wheelchair asked her, "Aren't you scared to sing in front of so many people?" Amelia thought for a moment, then smiled. "I used to be. But then I realized, when you sing from your heart, it's not scary anymore, it's like flying." Her words echoed online, quoted millions of times. She became a symbol, not just of talent, but of hope. A year later, Amelia was invited to perform again, this time at the finals of the same show that started it all. She had grown taller, her voice deeper and more mature, but her heart was the same. Backstage, before stepping onto the stage, she looked up, as if to the heavens, and whispered, "This one's for you, Dad." She began with a soft hum, transitioning into an original song she had written herself, "Light in the Deep." The lyrics spoke of love that never fades, of a voice that carries even when the person is gone. When she sang the final line, "You taught me to dive, now I'm not afraid to fly," the crowd erupted again, just like that first day. Tears streamed down faces across the audience. People stood, hands over hearts. The judges were speechless once more. The world had come full circle. A little girl who once trembled on stage now stood as a young artist, inspiring millions. Later that night, after the show ended, Amelia sat alone on the edge of the stage. The lights were dim now, and the crowd had gone home. Her mother walked over, wrapping a warm jacket around her shoulders. "You did it again," Martha said softly. Amelia smiled, resting her head on her mother's shoulder. "Do you think Dad heard me?" Martha looked at the ceiling lights, soft, glowing like distant stars, and whispered, "Oh, sweetheart, he never stopped listening." A single tear rolled down Amelia's cheek, but it wasn't a tear of sadness. It was peace, the kind that comes when you know your song has finally reached where it was always meant to go. She looked out at the empty hall, imagining her father in the front row, clapping, smiling, proud. Then she closed her eyes and whispered to herself, "Greater than, no one expected this voice from a 10-year-old, not even me." And somewhere, in the silence that followed, the echo of her father's laughter seemed to blend with the faint hum of the stage lights, as if the music between them would never truly end.